reluctant in asking you, giving you what you ask in prayer. He's not reluctant in giving you anything. He is not sitting back, disinterested, or unconcerned about your welfare. He is as a loving father is to his children, loving and caring. He will not refuse the request of his dear children. God will not mock or request. He does not give grudgingly. In James chapter 1 verse 5, he does not even hasten to give. And what he gives is not of less quality than what an earthly father will give. God does not give grudgingly, or he does not substitute what he gonna give. You might say, well, I want Nike, and he gives you Adidas. He's not going to do that. He's not going to substitute what you need. He's going to give you what you ask for. He gives exactly or better than what we can ask. We can find that in Ephesians chapter 3 verse 20. Ephesians chapter 3 verse 20. Can somebody read? I'm just going to talk to you.
Now to him who is able to do far more abundantly than all that we ask or think, according to the power at work within us.
Right. Thank you. The thing wanted must be in God's will. The reason why you're not getting it because what you are asking him for is not in his will.
Right.
And if it's not in his will and it's not lined up with it, let me share something with you. Do you know why tithes and offering is one of the key components about giving? Let me tell you why. Do you know some of us are living off of your parents or your great-great-grandparents' tithes and offering because it's still for financing your being now, your college tuition. It is financing it now. People wonder why they go through. Because he said that I shall open up the windows of heaven and I shall pour you down the blessings, shake down, press together, running over, and not enough room to have it. And because we do not give our tithes and offering, but we always ask them from God, you cannot go to the bank and don't have nothing in there. Eventually you bank rob your bank. Now you said, now preacher, wait a minute. There you go acting like the rest of them. All they do is ask about tithes and offering. And I just barely make it. Let me share something with you. If the widow only had a mite, she gave what she had. It wasn't the amount that she gave, but she gave it out of her heart, not out of grudgingly or out of pain. See, it's when you are sincere about what you do. And I wonder how many hustlers that in the church for 30 years and 40 years still hustling folks and still trying to pull. You know what? Some people establish ministries and stuff like that so they can move on you or know how to use the system. You'll be very surprised how many people uses the system of ministry, and that's why ministries fail. High five your neighbor, and I'm saying, who is prostituting the ministry? What do you mean by that? You know how you can start something and really you are the beneficiary of what you started so you can get... Here, look at this. That it wasn't started because of the need of the people. It was more started because that's why you can have many ministries going on in the church and none of them happen. And why, if you are not happy at a church, why you stay?
Yes.
Instead of talk about it, leave.
Yes.
You know what? Who gonna go in a cramp? If you want to go to hell, go to. You ain't gotta sit there and go to hell. Don't be agony. Don't go through agony because there's many churches out there. Oh, okay.
Amen.
Nobody don't want to be real. See, when it's not based on tithes and offering, and when you really preaching for the sureness of people getting this thing, because you want people to get the word of God, not what you trying to get them to, but get the word of God. See, because it should not be when I'm hanging around Christians that I get worse than I was before I saw you.
Amen.
Why is it that you always complaining? There's nothing good happening. Why is this big cloud following you like Charlie Brown? I believe it. Is this minus? Is this?
Amen.
Well, I mean, don't you ever ask yourself, why is it anyone that be in you're all going to heaven and nobody has?
All right.
Never say nothing. Oh, everybody going to hell. We got to be in a place that we got to be, somebody got to be a Christian in the group. I don't understand. You got 10 people saying they saved, but nobody standing up acting like it.
I'm back.
Preacher complaining, minister complaining, even the kids. Oh, wow, man, church is crazy, man. Because we don't understand. Church is not here to entertain you. Wait a minute. Church is not to baby your idiocracies or your displeasure in what you have found in man, and without you examining yourself. Because when you take a download, what do they say on YouTube? Upload yourself so you can view you. And when you view yourself, you'll see that I got to take it off of iTunes. iTunes is that I'm tuned on your situation. Here, when we look at this, God is trying to get us to elevate so we can be a help to somebody else. But we can't be a help to no one else because we are always so much miserable.
Yeah.
How can you go to heaven miserable? Something is wrong. Maybe, I get it. Because sometimes when you download a program that you can have an error that roll up and you forgot to call Norris so he can go ahead and download a software program that can help straighten out your error in your program. Because the error is that maybe when you was getting downloaded, maybe when you found Christ, and maybe when you was getting saved, that really you didn't do it for the mind's sake. You just did it for it because I wanted to get out of this trouble. So it never was a heart thing. It was only a thing because everybody else doing it. It was a fad. Everybody got saved on the block. I want to be saved. I want to be saved. I want to be saved. And then when you find out that you cannot go to the nightclub, when you find out that you cannot get high, and you can't, somebody just tell me, I didn't know salvation cost all this. Because we think we can just live the same way and that you're going to live comfortable. See, God gives you a lease on life. What he does is he gives you a period of time to start now wheeling you in now. Now you done been saved now more than a week. Now it's time to start dealing with your situation. Wait a minute. I didn't know. I thought I could live like my neighbor that's saved. My neighbor, they sleep around, they don't even feel nothing. They just get blessed up and down and cross. And I just go struggling from paycheck to paycheck and never can make ends meet. Well, God ain't never told you that an end would meet. Because ends don't meet. Ends are separate. They'll never come together. But what he said, in the midst of your trial, going from one place to another, I'm going to be with you. I'm going to have my hand in your hand. The reason I didn't answer your prayer is because yet you still don't understand what prayer means. And so if I hold off and let this situation happen in your life and that situation happen in your life, you will start understanding that prayer ain't based on what you can get from me. Prayer is based on the intimacy that you have with me. When we look at this, I just want to, can I talk for a moment? Here, God is trying to share something with us. We are discouraged about prayer, but prayer is discouraged about you because it didn't teach you that type of speech. It didn't teach you that type of way of thinking. It did not teach you that. You learned that from the TV. You learned that from the internet. You learned that from your friends that are still waiting on God to do something.
Yes.
I wonder, what is prayer? If prayer is so important, I need to know that language so I can be able to get something from God. And how will I get it from God?